Humans are deeply imaginative creatures. They invent futures, rewrite pasts, and often fill emotional gaps with people who barely exist. One of the strangest behaviors observed in human psychology is the tendency to develop deep emotional attachments to people they barely know. A stranger on the train, an online crush, a social media influencer. These fantasies can be intense, even life-altering, despite having minimal real-world interaction. But why does this happen? Why does the human brain get emotionally involved with someone it doesn't truly know? This phenomenon is not delusion. It is a mirror, a reflection of unmet needs, projected desires, and psychological patterns rooted in survival. 1. Projection, filling in the blanks. When you don't know someone well, your brain fills in the missing information. This is called projection. It means assigning thoughts, traits, or emotions to someone based on your own internal template. If someone appears kind or mysterious, your brain completes the picture. You assume they're emotionally intelligent. You imagine they'd understand your pain. You believe they'd make you feel seen. But this person may be entirely different in reality. You're not falling for them. You're falling for your idea of them. Projection allows the brain to build a safe, idealized figure, someone who seems perfect, because they're largely imaginary. This is comforting. It offers emotional safety without risk, but it also means the attachment is to an illusion, not a person. 2. Emotional unavailability and safe distance. Fantasizing about someone you don't know creates a paradox. You feel connected without having to be vulnerable. Many humans struggle with intimacy fear, the anxiety that comes from real emotional closeness. Real people can disappoint. Real relationships require emotional labor. But fantasy? It's clean, controlled, safe. By obsessing over someone from afar, the individual protects themselves from rejection, conflict, or abandonment. They feel the emotions of closeness without the consequences. This is especially common among those with avoidant attachment styles or trauma histories. The distance provides safety. The fantasy provides comfort. 3. The parasocial illusion. Social media and entertainment amplify this phenomenon. Through platforms like Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, people consume curated fragments of someone's life. They see vulnerability, beauty, insight, all packaged into digestible content. This creates parasocial relationships, one-sided emotional bonds where the viewer feels deeply connected to someone who doesn't know they exist. The brain responds to these relationships as if they were real. It releases oxytocin. It triggers longing. It builds emotional routines around the person. But it's an illusion, a highlight reel, a character crafted for public consumption. And yet, the feelings can be real, powerful, addictive. 4. Loneliness and emotional substitution. Loneliness isn't just the absence of people, it's the absence of feeling known. When someone is emotionally isolated, the mind seeks ways to self-soothe. Fantasizing about a stranger becomes a form of emotional substitution, replacing real connection with imagined closeness. This substitute relationship can be a coping mechanism, a space to rehearse love, a distraction from pain. It works because the imagined person never contradicts your hopes. They always say the right thing. They always get you. But over time, this can become maladaptive. It creates unrealistic standards and reinforces emotional avoidance. 5. Narrative identity and self-reflection. Sometimes the person you fantasize about isn't the point. The fantasy is a mirror for who you want to become. If you imagine yourself with someone kind, strong, or emotionally available, it often reflects your own desire to cultivate those traits within. The stranger becomes a narrative device, a symbol in your personal story. They represent growth. They symbolize healing. They carry the future you want to manifest. So in some ways, the fantasy isn't about them. It's about you. It's a projection of who you're trying to become, using another person as the emotional backdrop. Fantasizing about someone you don't know is not weakness. It is not foolish. It is human. It reveals longing, hunger, imagination, hope. But the danger lies in mistaking fantasy for connection, in choosing emotional safety over emotional reality. Real relationships require risk, vulnerability, discomfort. They are not curated, they are not perfect, but they are true. If you often fantasize about distant figures, ask what they represent. Safety, validation, love without responsibility. Then ask whether you're ready to seek those things in reality, not in a stranger, but in yourself, and in the people who are close enough to disappoint you, because only they are close enough to truly connect.